My name is Olulano. I am a parent of a person living with albinism. I'm blessed with 4 of them, and I'm happy to be a mother of a person living with albinism. The first time I gave birth to a child with albinism, that very day I could remember that when my mom came in at the hospital, she was like, "What is this?" She was just staring at me. Even my sister, they were like, "How come? How did you go about this?" Because there's nobody in my family that is like that, and even in my husband's family. But it was later on I have the history that their great grandmother, which my husband don't even know, was like that. Even me myself, I carried the baby and I was like looking at him that, is this coming from from me? Even the nurses that take the delivery, when the baby was coming out, they were scared. They even wanted to run out of the labor room, that what is coming out. They don't even believe that it was baby. But all the same, I've accepted that it's for me. And I accept it with joy that I'm going to take care of this baby.
My mom usually tell me that she never really wanted albinos. When she gave birth to my brother, she was running away from having another albino because she's scared, And this is something I've noticed about parents or persons with albinism. And it's not that they hate the children per se, but majority of them just don't know how to take care of them. It comes with a lot of responsibilities. I personally, I am a very, very sensitive kid. My skin are very, very reactive, and I put out through a lot of things. So I'm actually a lucky person because I've actually grown in a kind of an encouraging environment. I personally don't actually think about being an albino because of the kind of environment I found myself, both in school, at Madrasa Arabic school, and everywhere I've been. I haven't really felt sad about myself.
My husband encouraged me. The kind of encouragement he gave me, that this is your child and you need to take care of this child, that even when people don't want to come close to the child, there's something that will attract them to come close to the child. I remember that was the first time my husband bought me a laptop. He said, you have to Google whatsoever you know. Just Google how to take care of children with albinism. A lot of books to read so that I will know how to. It was even there I learned that the only problem they have is exposure to sun. So I give my best to take care of my first child. I give my best, and when I say my best, that the child was looking charming. Everybody would want to say, who holds this baby? That they want to carry, they want to hold him. I don't even know that I will have up to 4, but the first one has given me that encouragement to keep going.
Nígbà tí mo wà ní kékeré, tá ń lọ sí ilé ìwé, so látara wípé ènìyàn tó ní albinism, so wọ́n ní ìpèníjà ojú. So ìyẹn ṣe ìdíwọ́ ráńpẹ́ díẹ̀ láti lè ní àkóyege nínú ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn ìtàmọ̀ sí western education nígbà tá wà níléèwé. Torí gbogbo àyẹn láti bí abẹ́ primary tá fi wọ JSS 3, so láti lè kọ́ṣẹ́ nínú class, so ó mú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìṣòro dání lọ sí ilẹ̀lẹ̀ níwájú board láti máa kọ́ṣẹ́ àtàwọn máa fi wọ bí abẹ́ SS1, so àgbàlagbà tí ń dé, so from there àwọn second àwọn ń yá nóòtì lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́. Mo gbìyànjú láti kọ́ṣẹ́ àwọn tí ó ń tún photocopy machine láti tún ṣe, so tí mo sì parí pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ tá gbòmìnira látọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀gá nígbà náà, tó yẹ pé àdẹ̀fín ń ṣiṣẹ́ ṣe tí Ọlọ́run sì ní pé kí ó yé. Àwọn challenges tí mo bá pàdé níbẹ̀ yẹn náà, gẹ́gẹ́ bí a mọ̀ yìí pé ẹni tó fẹ́ tún ẹ̀rọ ṣe, alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa code tí machine bá show code, so ó ní program ọ̀sẹ̀ kí ni ó ta fi máa clear code yẹn. So kó tó di pé ó yé ọ̀gá mi irú ìpèníjà tí mo ní, so ó pẹ́ nígbà tó kọ́ ń ṣe mi nìkan mo wà ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ pọ̀, so tó wọ́n fẹ́ clear code yẹn, wọ́n fẹ́ clear error yẹn, kan sáré tẹ code yẹn, so mi ò ní láǹfààní àti rí. So tó máa ń tú àwọn pàtì mi nínú machine yẹn, mo sì ní láti láti lọ súnmọ́ dáadáa. But later nígbà tí mo padà jẹ́ kó yí ọ̀gá yẹn pé because ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ wọn ò pé nígbà tó kì í ṣe afọ́jú síbẹ̀ yẹn báwọn ṣe rí náà lọ́yẹ̀ kó náà ṣe kí ni o kò ṣe rí náà ọ̀tá parí ń bẹ̀.
Growing up, the challenges I faced in school was out of this world. I don't even know the word to describe that. So after secondary school, I was like, let me just venture into learning as an apprentice. So I actually started with fashion designing. I learned as an apprentice for fashion for about 4 years. I also faced some discrimination in that area as well, a lot of challenges. People would ask me questions, can you see this, can you sew this? So to be honest, it affected my confidence. But I finished, I graduated as a fashion designer.
So far tó yẹ pé èmi fúnra lára mi mo ti jẹ́ àfin káríà ni mí tí ìyàwó mi yẹn náà wá sí kí ni o tó bá jẹ́ káríà tó náà ní jìn yẹn so ó àwọn kan sí kí ni o ká bí ọmọ tó náà máa rí bí mi ti ṣe rí so nígbà tí mo dẹ̀ máa délé ní ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀lẹ́ ta lọ sí hospital tó máa fi di bí ọwọ́ alẹ́ so tó yẹ máa bímọ a rí wípé so kọ́lọ̀ tiwa ni Ọlọ́run ọba fún wa so lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn a dẹ̀ tún láwọn tó tún black lẹ́yìn èyí tó jẹ́ àfihàn but èyí tó tún wá tó jẹ́ obìnrin tí mo bí gbẹ̀yìn òun náà tún padà jẹ́ kọ́lọ̀ tiwa náà bákan náà tó náà ní albinism.
I was working for a depot company and the man was like, oh, okay, you're working for us now. You need to be pushing trucks. And I was like, number one, I can't be in the sun, so I can't do this. And he told me that, oh, if you can't do it, then you can't work here. Just get out of here. And I felt embarrassed. I felt like, so did I make myself? Why? What do you mean? And I already explained to you that, oh, I would love to be indoors, not outdoors. And you are telling me 3 days later that I need to deliver drinks through pushing trucks. So the man just disgraced me and chased me out of the company.
With some of my relationships with guys, I realized most of them felt they were doing me a favor while dating me. There was a time a guy tried toasting me on the road and I looked at the guy, sorry, I'm not interested. And the next thing the guy was going to say was, what is it? Who do you think you are? I'm even coming to you and you're not even happy. Who dates persons with albinism like you? What do you so you yourself, you are feeling yourself. And I was like, yeah, thank you, let me feel myself. If you feel me, that was why you came to meet me.
Especially in the south parts of Nigeria, they believe that a child with albinism, they call them idol. Some will call them that they are good for money ritual, and which is very bad. No, so we parents, we don't feel happy carrying your child for good 9 months and somebody will look at that child and say this child is good for money ritual, or look at that child as if is they came from another world that is not even the world that other children are coming from. No, you will feel bad.
There's this common saying of the eyesight. They believe that albinos can't see properly. Though we are a little bit disturbed with the sight, but it doesn't mean we are totally blind or we can't see things. And another thing is they commonly say albinism is commonly related to some kind of infirmity or something. They call this Yoruba term called Osha. It means a deity, and they think that albinos are some kind of outwardly human being that are not among the human beings, ordinary human beings, and they think that we are some equipment for money ritual boa. And the experiences it's heartbreaking when you hear a fellow human being calling you names that are very, very disturbing. The experience is not good at all.
When you see how low people can stoop to be derogatory, you're just surprised. Actually, you're baffled. Like, you're just like, why do you have to get to, like, why does it have to get to this point? But then with the time I'm forming an art skin through that, I did well in school. In fact, you'll be so surprised that my note was actually one of the most comprehensive notes, because I don't see the board, so I have someone that reads it to me. One thing I noticed is that when you recognize your limits, you go beyond them, and that's just what I've been working for me.
I actually went for a musical training, And under this musical training, I realized that even I could understand the things that will take a normal person 3 times or 4 times to grab. And in just maybe one explanation, I'm already grabbing what the teacher is saying. You should understand the uniqueness of an albino and also see the potentials that is hidden in an albinism individual. I'm proud of being an albino, and I'm proud of living with albinism because it's not a curse or anything.
Ní ẹnujọ́ mẹ́ta ìtorí mo wà ní Bible school ní ìlú Ẹdẹ. Mo wá ní pàdé ọmọ kékeré kan, àwọn èèyàn ló wá pè mí pé kí wá wo ọmọ mi. Wọ́n wá ń jẹ́ kó yé mi bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ọmọ yẹn máa ń kájọ, kò kí ń ṣeré, ojú máa ń tì í nìkan. Bí mo ṣe wọṣọ lọ́jọ́ yẹn náà nìyẹn, aṣọ tí mo lò lọ́jọ́ yẹn, bag tí mo gbé tí mo fi ṣe aṣọ jẹ́ school bag. Ló wá wò pé mo wá jẹ́ kó yé pé èèyàn ni wà. Nǹkan tí máa tẹ̀ fi ń yé àwọn èèyàn dúdú náà ni pé èèyàn la wá náà, àwọ̀ ló yàtọ̀, àwọ̀ wa dẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ́ náà, arẹ́yìn dúdú tó jẹ́ pé ẹ máa ń wá kiri láti fi ra kírìmù, ra gbá, ẹlòmíà lọ sínú ẹ́ńjìn tá fẹ́ fi bóra pé káwọn náà lè funfun. Ọlọ́run ò dẹ̀ fáwa ní wàhálà ṣe, ó ti dá wa ní funfun láti ilẹ̀ wa. Bí èèyàn dúdú bí wọ́n ṣe lè ṣe làwa èèyàn funfun náà la ṣe lè ṣe. Kò sí yàtọ̀, máa ń jẹ́ kó yé àwọn everybody anywhere tí mo bá wà, tí mo bá ti ń ṣeré àbí tí mo bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀. Ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ni mí, máa ń jẹ́ kó yé àwọn èèyàn wípé kò sí nǹkan tí èèyàn dúdú tí wọ́n ń ṣe sẹ́ táwa oúnjẹ tẹ́ ń jẹ là ń jẹ. Tó bá jẹ́ pé àwa èèyàn funfun ò lè jẹ oúnjẹ tẹ́ ń jẹ nísìnyí, ebi máa pa wá. Gbogbo ibi tá bá ń dé, wọ́n ṣọ́ọ̀ṣọ̀ máa ṣẹ̀ lọ máa wá special oúnjẹ fún wa láti jẹ ni, kò ní ṣe. Oúnjẹ tẹ́yìn èèyàn dúdú ń jẹ làwọn èèyàn funfun ń jẹ. Omi tẹ́ ń mu là ń mu, bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń rìn la ṣe ń rìn, bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sùn la ṣe ń sùn. Kò sí kankan, kò sí ìyàtọ̀ nínú ẹ̀yin èèyàn dúdú. Ìṣàwọ̀ èèyàn funfun náà.
I started teaching 1997, and most of my students are now married. I got some awards on different aspects: management, best management staff, best teacher of the year, and I think the most caring teacher.
I don't have any student with me that are fat. They don't even see anything different because most of the time like this, when we are in the lab, we do video. They don't really see anything different. But it's a staff of mine. One of them said before she met me that she has been having these wild feelings about persons with albinism, that she doesn't know how to hold them, that she's scared that if she holds them, that they might break or something. I said, okay, now touch me. So do you see that I'm not breaking? She said, so our orientation has changed completely.
You know, I said I deal with children and also adults. When we are together gisting, I tell them everything they might about albinism, and they are always ready to learn. Mrs. Shei, they said the albinos don't do this, they don't do that. I'll tell them no. You see, I wear cap. You see, I use umbrella. When I'm going out, you see me rub cream. Those are just for protecting me from the sun, so that when I'm walking in the sun, it does not affect me. I so much sensitize them to the extent that when they go out, they get phone numbers of persons with albinism for me. Mr. Shea, I saw a PWA, because I've taught them that they will never say albino. I saw a PWA on the way and I got the number. So they help me in creating the awareness when they meet people on the way.
My family members, I think my mom's aunt was like, do you know the person you want to marry? Do you know that, like, they had the same mindset that I have before it now clears them for me that, oh, they don't use swords and they don't see in the sun. So stuff like that until I now ask him about it. That's when I also have the knowledge about it, and then explain to my heart that, oh, it's not the salt that is the problem.
I would like to tell my fellow ladies with albinism out there that in whatever they do, they shouldn't settle for less, and whichever man they decide to go ahead and marry, they should please ensure that the family likes them. It's a very important aspect. If the family is a discriminative, stigmatizing family, please do not go into such relationship. It's better than, oh, I must be a Mrs. I must be a Mrs. A lot of people make that mistake.
I also have sickle cell, so his mom don't like, she does not want to allow the relationship.
I remember when I introduced her to my mom, so my mom was like, she noticed through her eye yellow. She was like, and she called me like, why is her eye yellow? I was like, I asked, it's just yellow. Then I think 3 days later, my mom asked me again, is she a sickle cell? And I said yes. And she said, why sickle cell? Why can you go? And I was like, what if she is your daughter? Are you going to say she's not going to marry? And that statement just changed her mindset. I was like, okay, no problem. And she was in support from that point on. She was in support of our marriage.
School yẹn náà ni mo ti ń lèmi náà ti ń kọ́ ọmọ yẹn léèwé tí wọ́n ń lọ. Gbogbo àwọn teachers wọn náà ni mo ti jẹ́ kí wọ́n mọ̀ wípé alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ àwọn ọmọ yìí so wọ́n láti jẹ́ kí wọ́n jókòó síwájú kí wọ́n sì gbìyànjú láti jẹ́ kí writing kíkọ̀wé wọn sójú board kó tóbi. Then máa ń jà fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn teacher tí ọmọ mi bá wà ní kíláàsì wọn pé kán máa gbìyànjú láti máa fún wọn ní black marker because white board la máa ń lò, so kán wọ́n láti máa fún wọn ní black marker so that a lè jẹ́ kí nǹkan yẹn kó wà brighter pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ yẹn. Bákan náà so táwa sì ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní gbogbo bí táwa ti lọ bí a wà lórí à ń ṣe wáàsí ni à ń ṣe ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ni a máa ń gbìyànjú láti jẹ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀ gba area yẹn kọjá kí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn kí wọ́n nímọ̀ nípa kí wọ́n ń pè ní ènìyàn tó ní albinism àti báwo la ṣe lè kún wọn lọ́wọ́, báwo la ṣe lè ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ fún ìlera ara wọn láti jẹ́ pé kán má sì rálẹ̀ sí oòrùn àti fún ìtẹ̀síwájú wọn láti ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ nípa ojú wọn.
I hope and I believe that it's going to happen that there will be a time where albinism will not be something of stigmatization.
Yes, I am an albino. That's obvious, but I don't want you to see that. I want you to see what I'm bringing to the table, what I want to offer.
You are who you are. What you portray to people out there is how they will take you. And I think this goes irrespective of color, but we, especially persons with albinism, we just have to be more confident.
Àwọn tèmi dẹ̀ máa ń pè mí ní ẹ̀wà Jésù. Iṣẹ́ tí mo ń ṣe ni iṣẹ́ mo máa ń rán fìlà lóríṣiríṣi, mo máa ń ṣe bag, mo lè ṣe fìlà, mo lè ṣe bag, mo lè ṣe bàtà, mo lè ṣe ìwọ̀ tí mo lè ṣe ìmọ̀, mo lè fi ṣe bàtà, máa ṣe auto gèlè, mo máa operate machine, mo dẹ̀ kọ́ṣẹ́ midwife náà.
So mo fi àsìkò yìí so dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Association of Person with Albinism at large ní Abuja. So wọ́n gbìyànjú láti jẹ́ kí ìjọba kí wọ́n mọ ìpèníjà tí àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ní albinism tí wọ́n ní. Kò ń ṣe nǹkan tó pọ̀ lọ títí náà. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ká ní ìrànlọ́wọ́ lórí bí a ṣe lè tọ́jú ara wa. Ẹlẹ́kejì ká dẹ̀ ní ìrànlọ́wọ́ lórí kíni ojú wa. Táwa sì lè rí ìrànlọ́wọ́ lórí bá fi lè tọ́jú ara wa. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn ó mọ̀ wípé àwọn èèyàn tó ní albinism wọn lè máa ṣerálẹ̀ sọ́rùn. Bákan náà sì ni àwọn tó lè ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ láti má ṣerálẹ̀ sọ́rùn gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn tó ń pè ní sunscreen, gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn fìlà tí ó cover fìlà gbòòrùn àbí àwọn aṣọ tó yẹ pé yóò cover ara. So ẹlẹ́kejì òun náà ní ojú. So kán gbìyànjú láti jẹ́ sí pé àwọn ọmọ tó bá jẹ́ person with albinism yìí so kí àwọn nǹkan nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wọn so kán gbìyànjú láti kíni àti jẹ́ kó máa tóbi. Bákan náà sì tún kí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lábẹ́ àjọ LASODA so àwọn náà gbìyànjú so wọ́n ń bá wa ṣe awareness yẹn, wọ́n á ń fún wa ní ìrànlọ́wọ́ lóòrèkóòrè tí a bá ti nídìí ìrànlọ́wọ́ wọn, bí kí wọ́n fún wa láwọn fìlà tó yẹ pé yóò cover ọrùn, wọ́n fún wa ní àwọn cream tó yẹ pé tó bá ti di túláàsì pé a fẹ́ sáré wọnú òrùn ká sáré jáde padà, so tí ò fi ní harm wa lọ títí tá à ń pè ní sunscreen. Wọ́n fún wa ní àwọn cream yẹn, wọ́n fún wa ní àwọn umbrella, èmi náà mú kan dání, mi ò tiẹ̀ rí nìyẹn, so tèmi náà mú dání yẹn láti ha fún àwọn èèyàn wa. Bákan láti kíni o, láti ń ṣe ìpolongo gẹ́gẹ́ bí association of a person with albinism ti Lagos State branch, tèmi náà jẹ́ igbákejì alága wọn, láti pe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn òbí, láti pe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn kí wọ́n mọ̀ nípa báwo la ṣe tọ́jú èèyàn tó ní albinism.
I would really appreciate that this awareness thing is taken as seriously as it should be, because a lot of people do not really know the fact about persons with albinism, and not just persons with albinism, but then other clusters too. They are actually like sorry to ask the question, but then this is something you should know about.
One of the reasons I feel very comfortable and confident to be a model at Misturah is the continuous representation of people with diverse needs. So Misturah company advocates for us and speaks for our needs and why we need to be included in the society, because we are members of the society.
Some clients don't understand what being a person with albinism is. When you're on set, you're trying to like, sorry please, the light is too much, sorry please, this is that. The client will get angry, and it's not their fault, it's actually the agency's fault. Because once you request persons with albinism, you need to make them understand the type of person they are expecting.
Yeah.
You have persons with albinism, you have a vitiligo model, you should explain to your clients, you should let them know what they should expect.
One of the differences at Misturah company is that inclusion is where the agency Misturah company knows that persons with albinism should be well taken care of. So as women with albinism, what experiences have you had, Kofo, Worola?
I have a lot of experience when it comes to relationship. Let me say, we face a lot of challenges and discrimination. At first, I'll ask my guy, I always ask my guy that, okay, guy, are we compatible? Like your parents, are they going to allow us to be together? It will be like, there is no problem. But unfortunately, I know that there is problem. Okay. Because the day we're supposed to meet is, his parents, they were like, Talile, oh, Lefe, Afini, I don't want to see. I was like, are they joking?
Right in front of you?
I swear. And I was like, God. Maybe they were joking, you know. I'm kind of a jovial person. If somebody called me a friend, I'll be like, it's normal thing. But by the end of it, I told them that my living with albinism has made me to be strong.
Yes.
That they should see the story. They should see the strength. It's not so. So I decided to give up on the relationship actually for the moment. Yes.
Well.
Speaking about relationships, well, to add to what she said, there's some particular families that even the mother would accept, but you see the father would be the one opposing. At times, the father would accept and the mother would oppose. There was this particular person I was supposed to get married to. Yeah. We were engaged. He took me home. Then his dad was overseas then. So he took me to his mom, and in the process of
Mommy, anything Momo like, this is what I want. This is the person I want to get married to. And the was like, God forbid. Why would you
right in your presence?
I'm telling you, why would you present an oracle to me?
Oracle.
That was the word she used.
That's like the list of it. I'm proudly a mother of one. Well, I have a 2-year-old child, and I'm still expecting one. But the experience with that baby was a tough one. Though a particular day, I was pregnant. I was in my second trimester. Then I think that day I was going to church. Then someone videoed me from like a 3-story building. Then the person posted my video and captioned into it.
Ta ló fàfin lóyún?
What does that
She like, did they blindfold my husband or they paid him off to just impregnate me?
Well, to me, I love to carry myself. I want people to know albinism. Our albinos are beautiful. Persons with albinism are beautiful. We are unique.
I used to tell people, you buy contact lens. Have you seen my eyes? Natural stuff.
Beautiful. So, I think another thing that we would like to speak to is the inclusion that brands are lacking, especially makeup brands. We know how it is. I think for the fact that we're in Africa, there's a lack in that regard, a gap there where people with albinism, our products are not easily found, like foundation, concealers, even hair products, right? When you want to buy blonde hairs, I know it's kind of scarce, more scarce, and then more expensive. It will be important that persons with albinism are included in the testing of these products even before they are launched, so we are able to contribute to the process and at the same time make it more inclusive for us.
I'm an aspiring model. I've been looking for agencies to join, but I've sent requests and all that. I got no response. So, but I just got recently linked with this agency, and I'm so glad to be here. Like, I saw the stories that I've been going through online, checking their posts and all that about the inclusive aspect of this agency. They include all aspects, not just albinism, all kind of whatever your disability is. And I urge other agencies to also include other kind of people. Like, that should be, let them know, like, say you should need to be tall, I need a 5 feet, I need slim model, I need all this. They should bring an aspect where they include all kind of person. Like, you are fat, you can be a model. You are short, you can be a model. You are white, you are black, you can be a model. And I'm so glad this agency is
Doing that because everybody uses the brand, everybody is a participant in the society. So as such, we should all be included in everything that the society has to bring on board. Okay, so speaking to the topic about albino, so some people will say albino, some people will say person with albinism. So which of them speaks best to you? Which one are you comfortable with?
Well, for me, I feel
the literate colors persons with albinism because they understand.
So you all agree that that's the right way?
Yes.
I prefer that way, but them saying an albino.
I think they need, people just need awareness on these things actually, because albino has been in existence for a very long time. People have been using that term. Calling somebody a person with albinism, one of the beauty of it is it puts the person before the condition.
Yes.
So you acknowledge that this is a person with albinism, a model with albinism. We acknowledge that you are a model, you are a person, we can relate to you, but you have albinism, and that is still not a limitation regardless. Rather than just calling somebody albino, and that's just like the totality of you is described by your appearance. You're just albino, that is all. So we should acknowledge that we are people first before the condition.
That's why we have Mystic Glam.
That's why we have Mystic Glam.
Hi everyone, my name is Misturah Owolabi and I am the founder and director at Mystic Glam Company. Mystic Glam Company is Africa's first truly inclusive commercial modeling agency with a diverse portfolio of models, including models with albinism, models with vitiligo, models with dwarfism, models with tribal marks, wheelchair models, amputee models, and all kinds of models that you might be looking for. Mystic Glam Company was founded because we identified a gap in the modeling and advertising industry. Why do we need to stick to a particular beauty standards, or why does it have to be a particular set of people that can be models? When do we start making room for people who do not fit the conventional beauty standards? And because of all the whys, the questions that nobody could provide answers to, and that was why Mystic Glam Company was birthed. When brands say that they are inclusive, they say a lot about representation. They tell you, oh, we accept any kind of model because our products are open to anybody, you know, a wide range of people, right? But then when it's time for campaigns, you see them asking for the same kinds of models. Models that are tall, they are slim, figure 8 models, very light skinned models, even almost, half caste kind of models, right? And it's funny because how can you say that you're an inclusive brand when you do not make space for, different groups of people? So as a talent manager for Models with Albinism, oftentimes when brands even come to us to say, oh, we want Models with Albinism for this particular kind of campaign, first, we already know that it is a CSR campaign. Those campaigns that brands carry out when they want to show the world that, oh, we are inclusive, oh, we are diverse, right? And it's never that they actually mean it. And you see that those kind of campaigns usually happen only once a year. And once they do it, right, they never ask for Models with Albinism anymore. You see that? It's almost like they just use that to tick a box, basically. And as a talent manager for Models with Albinism, it's very thoughtful to see that there are a lot of talented models with albinism who do not get enough opportunities in the industry. They are judged first by their appearance. Nobody cares about their talent, their skills, or what they bring to the table. And every time we even say, oh, how can you tell me a model with albinism cannot play the role of a mom in an ad? They'll tell you, oh, they don't fit the brand, or they are not the kind of models that we're looking for. Almost as if people with albinism cannot be moms, or they cannot play the roles of moms, or they do not even buy your product. You say you're a noodle brand, but you don't recognize models with albinism. You only use them when you want to do your CSR campaign and you want to sell to them, right? They are your target audience when it's time to collect their money, but they are not your target audience when it's time to create ads that would, mirror what they look like. And so it's a very serious issue in the industry. Models with albinism do not get enough opportunities. Even the ones that are talented do not even get the opportunities to show their talent, to showcase themselves. And that was why we decided to create the first albinism awareness pageant, an event that is going to be an opportunity to redefine beauty standards. When you think of beauty pageants, you think of people who look a certain way, people who are Miss World, Miss Universe, kind of standard, right? Nobody thinks of beauty and think of people with albinism. Nobody thinks of runway and think of people with albinism. And that's why we're doing what we're doing, to raise awareness about the struggles and discrimination that persons with albinism face in the industry, and also to correct the notion that people with albinism cannot be pageant queens. And it's more than just a pageant. It's an opportunity to start conversations, add conversations. People will say, why are you doing this? Why are you creating a separate pageant for persons with albinism when you can just find a way to include them in the current conversation? But we all know how these things work, right? When marginalized groups are not given opportunities, we don't wait for the world to open the doors for us. We create our own tables, and soon enough, the world will catch up. And I think Nigeria is actually lagging behind in that story, right? Every other part of the world, people are embracing representation, diversity. You see models with albinism on the runway. You don't see them only when it's time for CSR campaigns. You see them every time. And so that's what we're doing with this pageant. We're trying to start that conversation, make sure that we're giving people with albinism the opportunity to tell their stories, not as objects of pity, but as people that can tell their stories, talk about their strength, their skills, and what they bring to the table essentially. My team and I were working on creating this event as an impactful one, as a way of empowering the albinism community and also addressing the larger problems of discrimination even beyond the modeling industry. So even in the workplace, marriage, love, in career, every area of lives, right? Because even our models, as they face discrimination within the modeling industry, when they step outside of the modeling world, they also face all of that. So we want to use the pageant to debunk myths, to address stereotypes, and even correct, wrong notions about people with albinism. And that's our story essentially. We're not doing this just to tick a box. We're not doing this because it's fun to do. We're not doing this because it's another nice thing to have. We're doing this because we're passionate about representing people who have been marginalized for so long. We're passionate about telling stories and putting people who deserve to be in the spotlight, putting them right there, and also correcting the notion that you have to look a certain way to be considered as beautiful. At Misty Glam Company, we are Africa's first truly inclusive commercial modeling agency, and we're serious about representation, serious about championing diversity and inclusivity. If you are watching this, I hope you are inspired to join us on this journey and to also stand up for marginalized groups who have been excluded for so long in beauty conversations.